Hey everybody, I'm Captain Tommy Scoville and you were on the lifeboat. I'm sorry, this is the third time I have done this and I don't do that. I don't do things in more than one take. But Squirrel jumped up and knocked the camera down. I got goofy and called myself Gern Blanston in the last, hopefully somebody gets that reference. Anyway, last night was a hell of a show. It really was. I offended the big red button in everything I did, right? We really went after social media last night and I used the P word when talking about sickos who like little kids. So no one's going to see it, which is unfortunate, and that's on me. It is what it is. You make some mistakes, which is unfortunate because it's a hell of a video. I am more proud of that work than anything I've ever done. I mean that. So, man, share it. See if you can get that out to people because that will, if anybody listens to it, man, there's really, really good information in that. So, we talked a lot about dopamine. I want to talk about the baseline of dopamine today, right? Because I didn't really get time to go into that. I'm not going to do it this morning, but I want you to realize, people, if you didn't see last night's video, that we live with a baseline of dopamine. Raise it. Raise that baseline of dopamine, and you are not going to relapse. Because you're going to be getting what you used to chase without having to do it. Now, I'll be honest with you. This is a crap load of dopamine, right? Doing that show last night, knowing that I was probably stepping on some toes, and knowing that I was off sides a bit, I got a dopamine rush for an hour, right? And was flying for a few hours after the show. That's for me is a dopamine rush. It really is. And when you start to realize that you can raise your dopamine level so that your base level is higher than it normally would be, then you're in really good shape. Alan Ballantyne, I used this as an example last night because the man's walking, the man's journaling, the man's doing everything you can do to raise that baseline. And if your dopamine level, let's throw out arbitrary numbers. If your dopamine level is usually at a 1, and that's how you go through life, so that when you go out and you get high, right, you're doing anything, you do cocaine, it's going to be 2 times that, right? So you're going to get, your base level is going to go to the 1 plus 2 more, you're going to be at about a 3. What if you kept yourself at a 3? What if you did things all day, right, that release dopamine naturally? You exercise, you eat right, you drink a crap load of cold water, right, about a gallon of it a day, right? You do all of these things and you raise that level of dopamine, right? Well, your odds of trying to chase dopamine when there's a bunch of it already in your body decreases massively. It's one of the reasons that buprenorphine works for people, right? Because it does raise the dopamine level. It drips out small amounts of dopium. It drips out small amounts of dopamine. Try saying that a couple of times. It drips out small amounts of dopamine all day long. And by doing that, it takes away the craving of trying to go chase it. Let's do it naturally. Let's try to raise that dopamine baseline. Get out and do a little walking today, people. If you used to do yoga, pick it up again. If you've never tried it, give it a try. Yoga's great. Something. Seek out things that are going to raise that dopamine level, right? And get you more engaged in life. Because when you are at a higher baseline of dopamine, you're happier in life, right? And it's not the kind of happy that you get from serotonin, which just says everything is cool. Dopamine is everything is cool, right? Let's attack this. Let's go get it. It's almost that adventure-seeking kind of feeling where everything in life becomes an adventure. Raise that baseline dopamine level today, right? And you can do it through all kinds of stuff, but start with a walk, right? Get out of the house today. It's pouring rain right now in Nevada. Pouring rain in northern Nevada. I'm walking in this stuff today. If it doesn't stop raining, I don't care. I'm going to try to do probably 3 or 4 miles today. And I'm going to start doing it every day. I used to do it when I was inside, and I haven't been doing it. But Vicky Brooks said, when have you been doing something just for you? Well, I'm going to do this just for me. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave this piece of crap at the house. So there's other places people can plug in. If you don't get me, it's because I'm on a walk. And head over to one of the other platforms. I'll be back, right? I can do 4 miles in an hour. That's what I used to do when I was incarcerated. So I'm getting out. This neighborhood, while I'm still here, has got 18 miles of walking path, and I'm going to start beating the hell out of it. Raise that level. Raise that baseline level, and you will be a happier person. And I am going to see each and every one of you tonight on the deck of the lifeboat, where I will not be offending the big red button. And hell, who knows? We might get a big audience. Between now and then, I want you to try to save somebody. for real, reach out and try to save somebody. It could be somebody that's a slave to that phone. It could be somebody that's a slave to another drug, because that thing is a drug. Make no mistake. But reach out and try to save somebody, people. It's what we do. I'm Captain Tommy Scoville, and I will see you on the deck of the lifeboat. Make it a hell of a day.